Well, I've got Jason with me today. Jason, you play a sport that I guess we can call it a sport
Yep.
that most people don't play. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do, literally being a weekend warrior?
Yeah, sure. It is a little bit unorthodox, but several years back, I was introduced into essentially it's full contact, heavy armored medieval combat. And if yeah, it's not for the
Boys
faint of
with
heart.
sticks. Yeah, boys with sticks.
It is literally MMA in
Yeah.
full medieval armor, helmet, sword, shield, the whole nine yards. And
How much does that? How much does that stuff weigh?
It varies. My heavy combat helmet is approximately 12 pounds. It's made out of 12 gauge stainless steel, and it lots of padding. Safety first, as with all things. But the gear is designed to protect from almost anything you can throw at it. My chest armor and the rest of the gear, probably all told with the shield, you're looking at about 45 pounds worth of equipment that you're toting onto the field there. So,
Right.
and I'm a pretty big size fella. So, you add 45 pounds onto my existing frame and we are well above 300. So,
Well, if I can figure it out, I'll try to splice a little bit of your compat reel in here so they can see kind of what you do. But
yeah.
I mean, you're basically a walking tank at this point. What are the needs for your sport? What do you need? Strength, stamina?
First and foremost, above and beyond everything else, is stamina. Strength helps, right? But with the techniques that we use on when we hit somebody with, we use either mostly it's rattan. I think it's almost like a baseball bat, right? And
Okay, all right.
it's that's the nearest comparison that I can think that everybody would be familiar with. When we swing at somebody, we call it throwing a shot, and the shot mechanics. You don't have to be huge and strong to land a good hit that you can feel through that armor. Again, the goal isn't to hurt anybody, but it's to achieve a couple of good solid hits on your opponent that they know that they've been hit. Stamina for that is key, and I'm not sure how many of our viewers or members have been in an actual a fist fight before, but if you have, 30 seconds is an eternity. An absolute eternity, because you're going all out. When I started, when I first came to you a couple of years ago, I was not in very good physical condition. I had size and I had some strength, but I had not very much stamina. And I was, my cardio burst was maybe 15 to 20 seconds tops of all out activity.
Right.
And that's just not going to cut it in our sport. And I saw it continuing to go down as my health decreased. So that was my main motivator to get in and see you was, let's lose the weight. Yeah, absolutely. Got to do that. But stamina increasing was a huge benefit to what I'm doing.
So were you kind of more middle of the pack type fighter back then?
Yeah, pretty much. And I think more of maybe not even middle of the pack. I mean, I enjoyed the sport, but it wasn't something that, I wasn't really excelling at it, like I have been in the few matches that I've participated in, post COVID. That's limited the sport dramatically, right?
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, so that leads me into my next question is like, how are you doing now, since you've been able to be in the gym and train through a lot of COVID? I know you went to a couple meets just in Florida and Alabama just within a month or two ago. How are you doing against your competition now?
It's night and day. A lot of the other fighters that I would fight against, that I hadn't seen them in a couple of years. Right, COVID happens and everything shuts down. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of folks, look, we all dealt with COVID in our own way, right? So some folks chose to stay on the couch and just be comfortable. I chose to be extraordinarily uncomfortable for 2 years, and that showed. And a lot of the folks that I would normally fight against a couple of years ago were like, "Whoa, who the heck is this guy?" I just got flattened, so my skill, my stamina, my strength and speed have all increased exponentially. Stamina is the one that I've seen the most improvement on. Right now, I've got a 60 to 90 second cardio burst. When I'm in the ring and I'm fighting an opponent, most of them don't have that.
Yeah.
So there was actually a moment where we did a big event down in Florida, and I was in basically the pit with another fighter, and I had this moment where I saw him gas out at about 20 or 30 seconds, and I knew I had tons in the tank, and I just poured it on and just absolutely flattened this guy. So,
yeah, I think I saw that video.
Yeah, it was fun.
So I can understand the allure of CrossFit to you and the building of stamina and stuff like that. And, you know, I half jokingly sometimes call our cardio bardio, because a lot of times it's moving with weight fast. And I'm sure, I know you like that. I know you like to commune with the steel.
Absolutely.
But, you know, you also show up on burpee days. Okay. And tell me why that's important to you, because nobody likes burpees. Why do you come on those days?
Yeah, you're right. Burpees are horrible. They suck, and I'm really, really bad at them. But that is why I do them. The only way, the only way to get better at something, John, is to do more of it. And there's no easy way to do burpees. You know, and I remember, you know, when I first started, you know, there was, you know, my burpees consisted of me slowly getting down onto the ground, doing some half-baked push-up type of thing, and then slowly standing back up and counting to 1. Right. So now, you know, I'm not super fast, but now I'm doing actual real legitimate burpees, which is, you know, it's an improvement, but that's why, right. If, you know, we know they're good for you. They hurt, they gas you out, get you out of breath. Therefore, you know, they're probably pretty healthy for you in the long run. And, so that's why, you know, just do what you suck at. Don't suck at it so bad.
It turns out the movements you hate the most are probably the best for you, CrossFit. As it turns out,
they're the ones. Yes, they're the ones that I need personally the most. Are the ones that that I don't like, and the ones that I'm slow and horrible at. And that's the recipe for success, man.
Cool. Well, how are your strength gains? How are things coming on that front as well?
Ridiculous. I mean, it's the only word I can. So you know, I'm in my late 40s, and you know, you were there for that one. There was one really, really good night where my front squat got up to 300 pounds on a front squat. Yeah. Never in my life did I think I'd be pushing and moving that kind of weight. You know, there's a lot of folks out there who are doing a lot more, and God bless them. I'm happy for them. But for me, that was a psychological number too.
300 pounds is no joke. I was so happy to be there for you, because I saw 275 just fly up, and it's like, dude, you got to go. So
yeah, and I appreciate you pushing me, because I you know, and that was that kind of that thing where you were like, hey, no, man, you've got this, get, you know, loaded up with 300s, and well, what the heck, let's try. And you're right. So, you know, that's the mark of a good coach, is recognizing when somebody has got some. I mean, you know, seriously, when you see somebody, you know they've got more in the tank, pushing them, and that was a big deal. But strength gains have I'm easily twice as strong as I was when we first met. That's no exaggeration. I want to say I don't know. I think my bench press might have been $150 or something like that. You know, when I first came in, and we've added 100 pounds to that. You know, so I'm very happy with that.
Well, as a coach, it's a dream to have somebody just kind of annihilate their scores like that. I mean, stamina is increased by 3 to 4 times. Strength is doubled. And you're too humble to say it, but I'll say it for you. I mean, there's some guys out there that you have to hold back on a little bit now, for fear of having to call an ambulance for them, right?
Yeah. So
that's all you got to say. I know you're humble about that kind of stuff, and that the sport's not about hurting anybody.
It's not. It really isn't. You know, and that's the thing. If I get to the point where, you know, I'm hurting somebody, you know, where we're on the field or in the ring or what, you know, something like that, then that's something I need to take a look at myself and kind of dial it back a bit, right? Because it is.
I appreciate that. But I mean, I truly believe that you do have to be careful around some of the guys out there. We've been talking a lot about the personal physical you know, scale benchmarks that how you've gotten better. What about on the mental side? How has CrossFit helped you there?
The mental side is almost, I think, in a lot of ways, John, it's more important than the physical, right?
Okay. I love it.
You can train your body. If you can get stronger, if you can adhere to a good diet, these are all things that you can do to physically improve. Mental improvement's super, super tough for a lot of people. And I was, I was or am, really no exception to that. But, I think we all have a moment where we step into the gym, end of a hard day at work, your mind's just not there. And I know me personally, I've looked up at the board and the air assault bike, 40 calories, 3 rounds for time. Are you freaking kidding me? Well, who the hell would program that? Right? No way I've got that. No way I've got
that. Just a sadist. Yeah. Just a sadist.
Yeah. Just stuff you don't want to do. And your mind is going to tell you, and it's going to trick you into believing your own weakness. And it's up to you to prove that little guy in your head's full of crap and you're going to crush this thing, and almost every time when I have those thoughts of, oh man, there's no way I'm going to get through round 5 of this, at the end, when you call time, I'm in round 6 or 7, and it's just, for me, it's almost, every workout's a fight, right? Every workout's a fight. I may not have an opponent, but I'm fighting me. Sure. The mental aspect of it is absolutely huge. And a lot of us have challenges during the workday at home, school, work, what have you, where, if you think you can't do this thing, and then you remember, you know what, that's not entirely true. I think I can do it because I just saw me crush this workout last night that just seemed impossible. So that's, to me, that mentality, when I'm old and gray, man, I'm still going to have that mentality. I may not be pushing 300 pounds when I'm 80, but I'm still going to have that attitude, that mindset. That's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think it makes everything a little bit doable when you go out of your way to make your life, a little bit harder for an hour, right?
Yeah.
So that it puts everything else that you're doing in perspective, I think. So,
absolutely.
Man, this is all such great stuff. I appreciate you sharing it with us today, Jason, taking some time out of your busy day. Congratulations on the new job. And we'll see you in class soon, my man. Okay?
Absolutely. We'll see you next week.
Cheers, man.
Take care. Yep. Bye.